Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today let us discuss about OSI model, that is Open System Interconnection Model. Open System Interconnection Model, that is OSI model. Today let me discuss about four topics. What is OSI model, purpose of OSI model, what is OSI model layers, and the 7 layers of architecture of OSI models. Okay, at the first, what is OSI model? A open system interconnection model developed by an international standard organization, that is ISO, which describes the flow of information from one computer to the another computer. OSI model is also called as ISO OSI reference model. OSI means Open System Interconnection Model, developed by the International Organization for the Standardization in 1974. It consists of 7 layers. Each layer has a different but specific processing function. Okay, now let me say the 7 layers of OSI model. There are 7 layers. At the first, application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, and data link layer, and physical layer. Let me discuss about one by one with the deep features. Okay, now physical layer. A physical layer is a first layer of an OSI model. In the physical layer, all the physical connectivity of the network, such as connectivity of a device using a wire, take place, and it converts a data into a bit and forward it into a data link layer, and the device works under the layer of hub, repeaters, cables, etc. At the second, it's data link layer. A data link layer is a second layer of OSI model. It provides a connection between a host of some networks, and it converts a bit into a frame and forward to into a network layer. And this layer is responsible for framing, physical addressing and flow control, and error control and access control. A device works under this layer are switches, bridges, and NIC. And the third one is network layer. A network layer is a third layer of OSI model. It provides a connection between host and different networks. It converts a frame into a packets and forwarding into a transport layer. This layer is responsible for the logical addressing and routing, etc. And the device works under this layer are routers and routers. The protocols are used in this layer are IPv4, IPv6, and ICMP, and the datagram at the network called as packets. And the fourth one is a transport layer. A transport layer is a fourth layer of an OSI model. It converts a packet into a segment and forward it to a session layers. And this layer is responsible for the segmentation, connections and control, and the flow control and error control. And the protocol works under this layer are TCP and UDP. And it converts a packet into a segment and forward it into a session layers. The fifth layer is a session layer. A session layer is a fifth layer of an OSI model. It is responsible for the dialogue and a dialogue control and synchronization. And this layer also control a duplexing, a termination, and a restart. And the protocol works under this layer are TCP and RTP. And the sixth layer comes a presentation layer. A presentation layer is a sixth layer of an OSI model, and this layer is responsible for the translation and the encryption and the compression. The protocol works under this layer is SSL. And the seventh layer is an application layer. An application layer is the last layer of an OSI model. This is the only layer where you can use a direct interact with the data. And this layer provides as an interface and support and services as a mail access and file transfer, browsing and internet, remote desktop connections, etc. And the protocol work under the application layer are FTP, TELENET and DHCP, HTTP and DNS and POP3 and SMTP. And let me say the protocols of all the 7 layers. At the first layer, the physical layer, it's on cable, network, interface, CURTs and hubs. And the second layer is data link layer, that is MAC address and switches. And the third layer is network layer. that is IP address and routers. And the fourth layer is transport layers, that is TCP and UDP and port numbers. And the fifth layer is session layer, that is start and stop the sessions. And the sixth layer is presentation layer, format data and encryption. At the last layer is an application layer, that is SMTP and FTP and TELENT. As the OSI models as a 7 layers, physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer and presentation layer and application layer. Out of these, the first 3 layers are called as soft layers. That is application layer, presentation layer, session layers are the software layers. And whereas the last 3, that is network layer, data link layer and the physical layers are an hardware link layer. Okay, as you know that OSI model has a 7 layers. Now it has 2 sides. One is sender and then receiver. And let me tell which layer is the first layer of an OSI model. It depends on your positions. See, now let me tell you, if you are on the sender side, the top layer of OSI model will be application layer, because as it sends, we will interact with an application layer, like it sends a data to work on any application layers like Chrome, Facebook and HTTPs and HTTPS to send a data. Now if you are on the receiver side, then the first layer will be a physical layer, because as a receiver we receive data and it interact with the other datas. As I said before, the top 3 layers are called as a software layer, because the application software like Chrome, FB and Firefox and Gmail exist and the work in an application layer. Whereas a bottom 3 layers, that is network hardware like switches, hubs and UTBs cable are used in these layers. The middle layer is a transport layer. It is a barebone of an OSI model, because it makes a connection between top 3 layers and bottom 3 layers.